Welcome to Lisbon, Portugal, and the beautiful old Santa Apolonia train station in Lisbon, Portugal. Purpose of this video is to give you as much information by way of a walkthrough. I'll show you where to get your tickets, I'll show you where the lockers are, show you where the washrooms are, show you where the train tracks are, show you where there's a grocery store or some eatery in order to get some food, show you where the taxis are, buses, etc. If you have any questions, pop them in the comment section. Let's go for a walk. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Lisbon, Portugal and the beautiful Santa Apolonia train station. It is the oldest train station in Lisbon, 1865. Wow, you can see the taxis out here and all the taxi drivers milling about waiting for some customers. You can also see a place where you can rent bikes, you can also rent scooters, you can see people over at the side here getting on a public bus. So if you are getting off a train or want to get to the train station by way of bus, the bus stop is just outside. And you can see the scooters off to the left there where you can rent them. Beautiful stonework. We're going to walk into the oldest train station in Lisbon, Portugal. You can see the ticket booth there. Not a long lineup, spacious, big old columns. If you're buying a ticket, that's where you're going to do it. We got ours online. We'll talk about that a little bit later. You can also see the lockers here. Now you may be coming into town and want to lock your bag away. You might be in town for a few hours. You might want to go out and walk around Lisbon and come back before you get on your next train. Just to let you know, there are lockers available. And not a lot of them, but especially if you've got some big luggage, you can see there's only a number of the big ones. We're going to come back this way and just want to look at the big board here. Now there are 8 platforms in the train station. There is the big board. Some of them are departures, some of them are arrivals. Now we will be heading to Porto out of this train station. But you've also got kind of a sign here with all the information. Tracks 1, 2, 3 are off to the left, 4, 5, 6, 7 off to the right. And information off the left. Easy peasy information right there if you have any questions. Well laid out. You come in, cool open concept. You got that nice little mosaic there in the stone, and you can see these 2 train tracks right here. Well, we're going to go for a walk, and like I said, the purpose of this video is to show you around, try to answer any questions you might have, and if you have any questions I haven't answered, pop them in the comment section. I will get back to you. This was kind of the most important train station, but the other train station that's opened up, which is the other big one, the Estación de Oriente, or Orient Station, or East Station. We're going to head over to tracks 1, 2, and 3 over this way, so we'll walk up this side and then we'll walk up the other side just to show you around. But it's got that old fashioned kind of feel. Train station, but 1865. It's an oldie but a goodie, and we are in the capital of Portugal, Lisbon. There's a number of train stations here in Lisbon, and I'm doing videos on all of them. So if you have any questions about any other train stations in Lisbon, pop it in the comment section. Now the Wi-Fi on here, we're going to be going from Lisbon to Porto. Tomorrow I'll be doing another video on that. We got the washrooms in here. We'll go for a little walk in there in a second. I'll check out the Wi-Fi. Very common train ride from Lisbon to Porto. You can see the seating area in there. You can see we got a little pizza place off to the right. Little seating area to the left here. You want to get your computer out if you've got some work to do. There's also some washrooms down here. And we'll just walk on, but look at the floors. It's just clean. Another set of lockers right there. So don't get discouraged if those other lockers are all filled up. You can also, there's some lockers right here. Here are the washrooms. I was in a train station yesterday and some people were upset that you had to pay to go to the washroom. On all the forums and the reviews I saw, they were upset that you had to pay €1 or something to go in there. And that's just Europe. That's the way it is, not like North America. We're gonna walk down here and love the color of this place, just the layout. It just reminds me of all the old European train stations. And you know, these train stations around Europe are just historical structures. Just think of 1865 to today. Got hundreds of years of people walking these platforms and these tracks. And there's basically two, this is a second class right there. So there's two types of trains in and out of here. There's the inner city, which are often a little bit slower because they stop at more cities along the way. And then you've got the Alfa Pendular. They're the faster ones, higher speed. Tomorrow we are getting on an Alfa Pendular train to go up to Porto. So there's another little seating area over here. There is a metro, which is another, you know, we've got an all-included, we got the metro, we got the train station, we've got the buses outside. This place is also not too far from the ferry dock of Lisbon. Because this used to be the major train station for the major cruise ships going to North America back in the day because of the proximity to the water and to the ferry area and the boat and the dock area. So that's why this kind of was the main train station, but now this Estación to Oriente, or the East train station, or Orient train station, is the main hub. Got a little snack bar in here if you need a coffee, a tea, you want to set up shop. We've also got the TVs there just to keep you up to date. Now you may be coming in here to pick somebody up and you might be looking at one of those TV screens to see if their train is on time. But you can see that we've got a train here that's loading off to the left. The more kind of newer space agey ones are the Alfa Pendular. They're a little bit faster. Now, tomorrow we will be going to Porto. We will be coming into this train station. So if you are doing that train from Lisbon to Porto, you're probably starting it here. You may be getting it in the Estación de Oriental, or the Oriental station, but that train that picks people up there to go to Porto initiates here. This is where the Lisbon-Porto train initiates, but oftentimes it will stop at the other train station in Lisbon to pick people up. Now my preference was to get my tickets from here. For fear that there were few tickets available, I wanted to pick my ticket. I wanted to pick the side of the train that I wanted to be on. Going north, I wanted to have the left-hand side so I could see the water going north. So just a little kind of a geeky thing that I like to do. I wanted to see the water and be focusing and looking out towards the water if there were any beach views on the way from Lisbon north to Porto. If you were on the right-hand side, you'd be looking inland. So just a little whatever travel hack there. 5, 6, and 7 tracks off to the right. Also to the metro, you have access over the right. We will walk over that way. And I guess, you know, there's a bunch of little travel hacks here about making your travel more enjoyable. Now, we are staying right down beside the Rossi train station, primarily because it does have a metro stop, but it's also the easiest way for us to get down out to Sintra. So the Rossi train station, a lot of people stay there if they're heading in and out. So you can see the sign there for the metro. It's a kind of that red sign. And also there are taxis out front. We'll also head out this way and just kind of show you what is available. So Santa Apolonia is one of the main train stations in Lisbon. The station is to the east of the historic center and is positioned on a stretch of flat land between the Tajo Estuary and the hills of the Alfama district. Now, a lot of people are going to stay in that Alfama district, and that's what we are. We're over in that area. Santa Apolonia is the oldest train station in Lisbon, being constructed in 1865 and was literally envisioned as the grand terminus connecting European rail services with the cruise liners heading across the Atlantic. And like I said, its proximity to the water and the dock area is important, or it was. Escalators heading down into the metro. We're going to go out here. This is another way in and out of the train station. Now, if you're looking for the ride apps, Uber. The other thing is we used a ride app called Bolt, B-O-L-T. That was awesome. There's also a bus stop right there. Bolt, B-O-L-T, is the ride app we've been using in Spain and Portugal for the last couple months, and it has been cheap and readily available. That'd be another travel hack. If I was going to give somebody some advice, I would say download the Bolt app. Just as a precaution, we used it 90% of the time when we were in Spain and Portugal. There is a ticket machine right there, and there's another screen over top. Most people get their train tickets before they get to the train station. Often they say that you have to print them off also. Today, Santa Apolonia is a hassle-free station to pass through. There are only 8 platforms, so it's easy to navigate around. There are good connection to Lisbon public transportation, and close by are the many shops and cafes of the Alfama district. Now, we are approximately 800 meters from this train station. We will be getting metro from our place to this metro station tomorrow. We've got a bit of luggage, and if you know Portugal, Lisbon, and Europe, a lot of the sidewalks are not that flat, so it's not very convenient if you've got some rolly equipment. Now, here's a little bit of a grocery store. Now, if you're getting on a long train ride, and we're going to be heading up, like I said, to Porto tomorrow, might want to go pick up some snacks in there, especially in the morning if some other places are not open. Walk in, get some snacks, maybe some buns, some luncheon meat, some fruit. I don't know what you're into, but I always like to have a nice grocery store where you can get a little bit of eatery. So we see a train coming in right now, and we're just going to watch it. This looks like one of the newer ones, the Alfa Pendular. And I hope I'm saying that properly, but we're going to be getting on a train tomorrow and heading north to Porto. So simple, 8 tracks, 8 platforms, simple layout. I've walked through it. I've showed you where the lockers are, showed you where to get your tickets, showed you where the washrooms were, the TVs, so you can get all the information about what platform your train is on or what time it's leaving. I'll also say that they say that the main train station is at Estación de Oriente, but this one was kind of the main train station. Now, a lot of people can walk from the historic district in Lisbon to this train station. I just felt that it was just a little bit far away. We are right beside the Rossi train station. It says it's 1.5 kilometers from here, although we did walk down to the water and then down along the water to here. So it was a nice walk getting here. Now this has a metro station, and the metro station is open from 6:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. and a single cost is basically under €2. So the Santa Apolonia is a departure location for intercity train service that head to the north of Portugal, and Porto being one of those, Braga and a few other places. These trains are operated by the CP Cambios de Portugal, the national train operator of Portugal. And you can get those timetables online. Tickets need to be purchased in advance of travel. A lot of these trains sell out. So I would advise you to do it as soon as you can. And if you're going north from Lisbon up to Porto, to get a seat on the left, looking out to the left to see the water when it's an option. Other than that, I'm going to say I think this is pretty simple. It's pretty well laid out. It is also on the blue line. If you're looking for the metro stop, not a long line up there, but make sure you get here early before. They always say minimum 20 to 30 minutes if you don't have a ticket. You can see the luggage there. You can see the board there. I believe the departures are on the left. The arrivals are on the right. We're going to head out here. Plenty of taxis. My other suggestion was they do have Uber. The other option is Bolt. The other option are these taxis right here. If you have any questions, pop them in the comment section. Otherwise, the next video going out probably will be the Lisbon-Porto train ride. You're going to see us go through the whole thing. I'm going to walk you through the train, show you around just to show you how clean it is and what to expect. I'll say ciao for now from Lisbon, Portugal. A beautiful place, and I love this old train station. 1865. What a beauty. See ya.